Imagine this. A key West African nation suddenly becomes the launchpad for the next wave of industrialization, not just for itself, but for the entire continent. Today we're zooming in on how Ghana is about to pivot into Africa's new development hub, thanks to 7 landmark deals with China that are reshaping its future. Buckle up. This is not your typical economic story. It's bold, it's dynamic, and yes, it's full of opportunity. 1. Zero-tariff trade agreement, opening China's huge market. Here's the big one. Ghana and China have agreed in principle to a zero-tariff trade deal set to be formalized by October 2025. What this means: Ghanaian goods, agro-products, manufactured items could enter the Chinese market duty-free. That's access to more than 1 billion plus consumers. Why it's game-changing? It flips the script. Instead of just importing from China, Ghana can now export to China on favorable terms. It supports Ghana's wider industrialization agenda under its reset plan and 24-hour economy policy. A caution note: zero tariffs alone don't guarantee exports will surge. Ghana must meet Chinese standards, compete on quality, scale, and logistics. Key takeaway: if Ghana capitalizes, this deal can turn it into an export hub rather than just an import market and thrust it onto the continental stage. 2. 4 billion Chinese investment pledge, fuel for industrial growth. During a recent investment forum in Beijing, Ghana's president announced that China has committed approximately $4 billion towards Ghana's industrial and infrastructure sectors. What this means on the ground: inflows of capital aimed at manufacturing, infrastructure, digital connectivity, and the green economy. Chinese firms are already operating in Ghana in major manufacturing lines, e.g. a Chinese group, operating 9 factories producing sanitary and hygiene products. Why it matters: investment isn't just about buildings and roads. It's about jobs, skills transfer, and lifting value. Added industry. Why it's thought-provoking. Can Ghana ensure that Chinese capital builds Ghana's economy from within rather than just arriving as foreign-owned enclaves? Key takeaway: this pledge signals that Ghana is no longer a passive recipient. It's becoming an active platform for Chinese-Ghanaian industrial partnerships. 3. Strategic Partnership and Development Projects Framework. Ghana and China have signed a strategic partnership agreement, July 2025, that sets out cooperation on major development projects, grants included. Highlights: China will provide a $30 million grant for development projects under the agreement. The framework covers sectors such as infrastructure, agriculture, minerals, and digital tech. Why this is important: grants reduce financing burden. The partnership framework gives visibility and institutional structure to cooperation. Curious angle: Ghana positions itself as the place where Chinese Africa development is not just about extraction, but industrial and value chain growth. Key takeaway: this strategic framework lays the foundation for 7 major deals and more, which could transform Ghana into a regional hub. 4. Emerging sectors. From agribusiness to digital and EVs, the China-Ghana agenda is no longer just about cocoa or raw minerals. Both sides are moving into emerging sectors: IT, EV, electric vehicles, green energy, critical minerals. Examples: Ghana offers investment-friendly policies, free zones, tax breaks for Chinese firms in these sectors. Memorandum of Understanding signed for Ghana's new energy vehicle industry development, Chinese firms involved. Why this matters: it aligns Ghana with global tech and green shifts, moving from commodity producer to future-facing manufacturing. Thought-provoking: could Ghana become a regional hub for EV assembly or minerals-based value chains, e.g. lithium, manganese, linking China to Africa? Key takeaway: by leapfrogging into next-gen sectors, Ghana can win the hub spot, not just for West Africa, but for the continent. 5. Industrial parks and the 24-hour economy vision. Ghana's government is promoting the 24-hour economy and has flagged industrial parks, manufacturing zones, and smart city initiatives as priorities. Chinese angle. Chinese firms are being invited to participate in large infrastructure projects, smart cities, industrial zones as part of bilateral deals. Why this is compelling: industrial parks accelerate clustering of manufacturing, logistics, and exports. A 24-hour economy means Ghana seeks non-stop production, export focus, green growth. Potential hub effect. If Ghana hosts Chinese-linked industrial zones, it could become the manufacturing anchor for West Africa. Jobs, exports, integration. Key takeaway: this isn't just about trade or investment, it's about rewiring Ghana's economy for growth, day and night. 6. Access to the African Continental Free Trade Area (AFCFTA) plus China's Africa Platform. Ghana is host nation for the implementation of Entity Trade Agreement African Continental Free Trade Area (Zero) AFCFTA, meaning it has special positioning for intra-Africa trade. How China deals tie in with Chinese investment in Ghana. Value-added goods manufactured in Ghana could be exported under AFCFTA into the continent via Ghana as the hub. Why this matters: Ghana can become the gateway for Chinese manufactured goods aimed at African markets and African-produced items aimed at China. Thought-provoking: the hub narrative isn't just bilateral China-Ghana, but continental China-Africa via Ghana. Key takeaway: Ghana's strategic location, trade, agreements plus Chinese manufacturing presence equals recipe for a development hub. 7. Resource and infrastructure integration, from mining to ports. While earlier deals focused on infrastructure, for example, the now older Bui Gorge hydropower dam built with Chinese finance, the latest shakeup is deeper, infrastructure tied to resource value chains, logistics, and export capacity. For example, Ghana's vast reserves of bauxite, manganese, lithium, etc. are being pitched as part of China-Africa coordination. Why it matters: when you pair resource wealth plus value dash, added processing plus export facilities plus investment, that's a hub-building model. Key takeaway: Ghana isn't just being tapped for raw materials, it's being structured into value chain infrastructure for both African and Chinese markets. Why this could make Ghana Africa's new development hub. Strategic location plus trade access. Ghana in West Africa. AFCFTA host, open for manufacturing and exports. Massive market access. Zero-tariff deal with China plus access to African continental markets equals big reach. Capital plus industrialization push. Chinese investment. Pledge plus government reforms. Industrial parks 24-. Our economy equals push for change. Emerging sectors plus value add. Agriculture, manufacturing, EVS, digital, minerals equals more than just extractive. Global deal flow momentum. The 7 and accounting Chinese deals form a coherent platform, not just random projects. Opportunity for leapfrog growth. If Ghana can move fast on skills, regulation, logistics, then it can win ahead of others. The challenges and why we must be real. Meeting standards and scaling exports. Zero tariffs don't help if Ghanaian goods don't meet Chinese. Import requirements. Managing trade imbalances. Historically, Ghana imports far more from China than it exports. A hub must reverse or manage that. Clear governance and public value. Big investments must deliver jobs in local industry, not just foreign. Enclaves, infrastructure, skills, supply chains, manufacturing. At scale needs power, logistics, workers, and these take time. Debt sovereign risk. Large foreign finance deals must be sustainable and aligned with Ghana's fiscal health. Beyond these deals, Ghana and China are also discussing joint education and tech training programs aimed at building a new generation of engineers, coders, and innovators. This focus on skills and technology transfer means Ghana isn't just building roads and factories, it's building human capital to sustain its transformation for decades to come. Ghana is standing at a moment of transformation. With these 7 China-linked deals, the country is no longer On the sidelines, it is positioning itself as the platform, the hub, the gateway for Africa's future industry and trade if it succeeds. Whole supply chains, whole value, streams and whole regions will arrange themselves. Around Ghana, that's bold, that's exciting, and you want to stay tuned as it unfolds. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment on which deal you find most interesting, and share this video to spark the conversation. Because Ghana's journey isn't just a local story, it could be Africa's story.